Hello, everybody, and welcome. So, uh, I just moved my computer desk today, and was very happy to do so because prior to this, it was sitting out in my living room on a folding table. But yesterday, I was able to get an actual computer desk, and so I am very happy to be able to use it for the first time on an actual computer desk. So, uh, everything should be going well. Hopefully, my connection doesn't drop. I'm right next to my router now. But yeah, we're gonna get into it. So last week, I wasn't able to stream, so I'm using my welcome image from my not launched stream from last week. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get into it. Um, so I am going to go ahead and start up a new layer. Oh, I already got one. But yeah, I'm going to start in just a second. I have to make some announcements regarding the fact that I'm live. So, I have been trying to get better about announcing when I'm live. So we'll see if I'm able to get it to all of my different channels. But yeah. Alright, so welcome. Like I said, I am just sending out a couple of live announcements, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. So, I didn't really have a particular, any sort of theme for today. I think I might be drawing some video game art because I've been playing a few video games of late. My schedule has opened up a little bit, and so I've just been able to have some time to myself and relax and play some video games. So, my last game that I've been playing uh, was Assassin's Creed, which is not the latest one. It's actually the oldest one. It is OG Assassin's Creed. And way back when it came out, I never really got a chance to play it because I didn't have the system that it was on, and didn't see myself buying one just to get, a handful of games. And then, I got a decent computer and it can actually run games, and so I was like, oh hey, what the heck? It's on sale. Let me try it out. So I've been playing it and having a really good time. I'm not the best at it, but it's actually kind of fun being really incompetent. Just being the worst assassin. So we'll see. It's been a fun game. So maybe I'll start off with some goofy, I don't know, some goofy assassin shenanigans. Um, but yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's once I learned the controls, because there were so many controls. It's like, oh, you have to do you've got high profile moves, which are like the really obvious sort of I'm about to go assassinate somebody type actions, but then you also have like low profile moves where you're supposed to be hiding to blend in. And you switch between the two, and like you can fight, you can run, you can dash. There was just so much stuff. And then to top it off, the PC version that I'm using doesn't have uh, an input for the type of controller that I'm using, which is the Steam controller. So I ended up having to say, oh hey, map this to an Xbox controller when it's really not an Xbox controller. So I spent literally like the first couple of hours of gameplay just being absolute trash at the game because I was using I was trying to figure out the controls and getting it to a place where I could reasonably play the game. But I was able to get my controls set up all nice and have been having a great time just running around the city and terrorizing the people who Altair is supposed to kill. So it's a fun game. It's just fun to parkour around the city and just get spotted by the guards and then run. And again, I'm not that great at it, so I'll run around for like 5 minutes trying to find a hiding spot to get them off my tail. And I might find a hiding spot, but they see me jump into whatever pile of hay, and so it's all for nothing. But it's a great game. So I knew it was one of those games where I'd never played it, but I knew I would like it just on principle. But like I said, I just never had an opportunity to play it. So that's been sort of one of the good things to come out of the pandemic is, hey, I'm trying to stay inside. I'm trying to keep the numbers low. Even if I'm vaccinated, I don't want to, unwittingly spread anything. So it's been giving me some time to kind of sit back and play some stuff that I hadn't had a chance to. So I think we'll be doing some Assassin's Creed. This looks very much like a Mario screenshot. Just a side-scrolling sort of open world adventure. So I think I'm going to have Altair, and then I'm going to have probably the guards. What do the guards do? The guards are surprisingly nimble. I'm not used to like mobs that can stinking chase you up a building as well as these guys do. So it's really funny to be like, oh yeah, like I'll just sprint off and they won't be able to catch me. No, they're hopping up on the building behind you. They're going to get you. Which is, one of the draws of the game. It's like, hey, there's a lot of them, and they're all very nimble. So I'm probably going to have a couple sort of running here, and then I think I'm going to have a few like joining the chase in the distance. This guy's running very flat-footed. So, and they're probably going to have their swords out because they're gonna get you. They're all very mad. So this guy's yelling. Actually, I think they all have like tunics. Another thing I really enjoy about the game is just their sort of recreation of the different ancient cities. The renditions are actually really beautiful, and it's fun. Like, I'll have like a mission to do. It's like, oh, go, assassinate somebody. And I'm like, I just want to wander around this city and just look at the architecture. I just want to be in these crowded ass streets and, just take in the vibe. I don't want to have to kill anybody. Not yet. Just listen, give me a couple days to sightsee around the city and then I'll be good to go. But of course, that's not the point of the game. But yeah, it is a lot of fun. Recommend it. And it is making me want to get some of the newer ones. So I do own the second Assassin's Creed because I think Steam or whatever was having a sale. So I did end up getting both of them, 1 and 2. But yeah, I might have to play some of the other ones. There's like a pirate. They have a Assassin's Creed for everything now. There's like a pirate one. Like, the Viking one is the newest one. What was the other one? There was like Sparta or like ancient Greece. It's like, okay, we get it. There's been assassins at all points of history. It's just, I find it, I don't know, I find it hysterical that they all have these like clockwork hidden blades. Like that's like their one bit of technology. It's like, oh yeah, this is super, super accurate to the time. Don't get me wrong, I love it. But it is just like, no matter who the assassin is, no matter who the main character is, they all have it. No matter what country or culture, it's like, all right, okay, we're gonna shoehorn this bit in regardless. All right, I gotta draw some guards. I gotta put some peril in this landscape. So there's lots of these rooftop gardens, which are very handy for hiding in. Nobody thinks to look in these. Lots of sort of exposed beams. Very good for climbing up. Yeah, it is having the side effect of making me really want to do some sort of like rock climbing, or I won't say parkour because I don't want to do parkour, but I definitely do want to do like rock climbing, having played this game. I enjoy climbing like on a regular day. Just playing this game, I'm like, dang, I really want to just climb something. Not the outer facade of a building. I want to climb something where I have a rope and harness and won't die horribly if I fall. But Altair, jumping around the buildings. We'll say there's probably going to be an archer over here, just about to ruin his day. So, how do you draw a bow and arrow? The eternal question. So, in one of the cities, there's like a little side mission where you have to get rid of... It said get rid of the archers, and there were 1,000,000 of them. And I was like, okay, so I took the mission, started killing archers kind of indiscriminately, and wondered why my like mission status wasn't being updated. I was like, what is this? I'm doing what I'm supposed to. Why aren't you giving me my status? Yeah, it turns out you were only supposed to kill like 2 of them, and they had them marked on the map. And I was like, oh, okay, well that's useful information to know. Thanks for making that obvious after I've been chased halfway across the city. So, oh, he does have a sword, but let's see. There's no place to put it. Yeah, it's one of the things that brings me endless joy is just walking with a group of like scholars who all wear white robes and are just sort of in this sort of praying motion, and they walk around in a nice little tight group and you just kind of blend in. You know, this man who's armed to the teeth amidst all these unarmed folks, and the guards are like, oh yeah, cool, seems legit, seems good. And you're like right in their line of sight when you like sort of detach yourself from the group, and they're like, oh yeah, totally cool, seems right. It's a good game. It's super fun. I highly recommend it. So I can't speak to what the newer games are like. I get the sense that they all kind of follow the same formula, more or less. I definitely want to give them a shot. Just run around buildings in different cities. So, alright, I think I'm going to switch to a different brush, because I think I want to do some line art. And I think I'm just going to do it right over the top of this sketch. Where is the inker that I use all the time? Friendin's inker. A good inker. And maybe I'm just going to use it to add some, I don't know, some value, some black areas to my drawing. But yeah, it's been interesting. I in the past I've been to conventions, like anime conventions, and seen people dressed as any of the various incarnations from Assassin's Creed. And yeah, gosh, like years ago, the joke of any cosplayer dressed as Altair just like kind of squatting on any given like high surface. That memory was all but forgotten until I started playing the game, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember seeing those meme images circa like 2006. I don't even remember when the first Assassin's Creed was made. I just remember it was a while ago. I don't consume media, and when I do, it's literal decades after the fact. I refuse. Alright. Part of me wants to put some color on this, but part of me is like, well, realistically, I think that's gonna happen after the stream. I'm not very good at color. Not at all. So I think I'm gonna stick with finalizing some of these lines and then call it a day and move on to something else. Perhaps something else video game related. I'm trying to think what other game I've been playing. I've been trying to make my way through my Steam library. Yeah, I've had Assassin's Creed for, gosh, I want to say a couple months now. And I had been eyeballing it, like, I want to play it, but I feel like the moment I start playing it, I'm going to get sucked into it. And sure enough, that's what happened. But the nice thing is I have a long weekend, and so I'm able to do that. I think that's why I felt sort of justified in doing it. So I've been doing a lot of cleaning, and yeah, my desk is a new desk, new to me. So yeah, just amidst all of the cleaning and whatnot, I was just like, you know what? This is gonna be my gift to myself. Some time to play some games. So it's been good times. There was one point a couple days ago where like I had just gotten the hang of the controls, and yeah, stayed up till 3 o'clock, looked at the clock and was like, oh, it sure is late. Good thing I'm off. Whoops. And have not done that since. I don't want to throw off my sleep schedule too badly. What do swords look like? They don't look like that, that's for sure. I have reached a point in the game where they tell you, like, one of the characters tells you, like, oh, hey, the guards are on high alert now, so it's not going to be easy for you the second time around. And it's just sort of a fun mechanic. I really like how they've sort of put forth a lot of the gameplay as story elements, like the fact that you can die multiple times and you just reset, and it's like, oh, you're playing as a modern dude who's just kind of going through his ancestors' memories, and oh, hey, the guards are going to be on high alert. So sure enough, when I go to fight them, they just wrecked me. It was so bad. I was like, oh no, I'm no longer, my sword fighting, which was spotty at best, is no longer good enough to get the jump on these guards. I have to actually improve. So it's really interesting. Alright. Sure, there's some clouds. Whatever. And all of the buildings tend to be square. Some of them are super broken down. All of them have very good handholds, just conveniently placed for an assassin who's trying to get away from the guards. It's good. Alright, I think, whoops, I didn't want that. Get out of here. Let's start a new layer. I think that's kind of where I'm gonna be at for this drawing. Let's do, I'll do a little bit of grayscale. It's not color, but I can handle value just fine. Let's see, I'll use my brush for this. India ink, huh? What does this look like? Wow. Good gravy. What? Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's real interesting. I like it. Alright. Let's put some shadow. Let's put some shadow on this scene. By shadow, all I'm gonna do is just like silhouette these characters. That's it. Alright. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, I don't use the brush tool in Clip Studio Paint hardly at all, so anytime I go to it, it's always a learning experience of, well, what does this tool actually do? Like, what does it look like? I'm real familiar with the brush tool in Photoshop, but Clip Studio is a program that I'm definitely still trying to get used to. But I have been enjoying it quite a bit. Alright, how do I... There we go. But yeah, I love Altair's design. It's like the iconography of like, oh, he's got this eagle theme is super cool. I love it. All of the gameplay, I guess, not first, because I won't say that. I don't know that Assassin's Creed was necessarily the first to do, a whole bunch of stuff, but it was definitely, interesting having just got through playing like Breath of the Wild and like, oh yeah, Altair climbing to the top of a tower in order to access more of the map is super similar to, Zelda. Climb up to the tower, get more of the map, etc. and so forth. So I think the takeaway here is that I was really looking for a game that would give me the feeling of the Zelda game without necessarily being a Zelda game, which is also why I bought Skyrim. I want open exploration. I want parkour. I want to be able to, explore but also fight. And Assassin's Creed has satisfied that, scratched that itch on both counts. So, a lot of fun. Let's see, let's do... Okay, I'm going to cheat this. I'm going to use a lasso tool, because I can. I have no shame. And let's do it for this guy too. Alright, and I'm sure I could do, let's do like one more value. We'll do that for the background, and then I'll call it a day. Because if I don't stop, I'm going to keep noodling with this drawing, which I don't want to do. I want to move on to bigger and better things. Oh goodness, that's not light enough. Oh, there we go. Alright. Drawing 1. What I've been playing. Assassin's Creed. Let's see. What next? What should I draw next? Yeah, like I said, I didn't have a clear idea in terms of theme for today. I would have done an Easter-themed stream last time, but things came up. Life happened. Let's see. Alright, get rid of this. We will start anew. Could I do a drawing with just this? I think I might actually try doing this. Let's do... Gosh, gosh, now I'm really trying to think of what's in my Steam library that I was just playing. I can't think of anything past Assassin's Creed. I'm actually going to open up my Steam library so I can see. There was something I just got. Oh, I don't want to draw that. Alright. Yeah, the other game I have been thinking of playing was The Witcher. Haven't got around to that. Hello! Happy Sunday! Welcome, cat! You're just in time to see me try to figure out what I want to draw for the second picture. But yes, hopefully you are doing good. How are you doing? Yeah, we'll go back to this. Alright. We'll do a sketchy. So, years ago, and again, Assassin's Creed is just this old game. Years ago, this one artist on DeviantArt had done a bunch of Assassin's Creed fan art. And so, yeah, now I'm feeling sort of the echoes of having seen that art again years ago, and now it's like, oh, I'm gonna go bug this one character because, you know, it was always sort of a joke that the main character of the game and him had some beef. But yes, I'm doing good. Been doing some cleaning, been doing some moving stuff around. I've like moved everything in my bedroom, and now it actually looks like a bedroom. So I'm pretty happy with that. So things are going good. And I've been playing a lot of games. So, and yes, I did get a chat widget. I finally, like, I remembered seeing your stream and I was just like, dang, like, I need more context for what I'm saying, because before it was like just my screen and I was just talking to myself. And especially in the recordings, it's really kind of obvious that I need some method of keeping context for anything that I'm saying. Unless I'm streaming just by myself, in which case I literally am talking to myself. But yes, I've been reading up on how to do Twitch things because I am a noob. So I've got a new setup. I'm close to my router. Hopefully my signal will stay steady. So yeah, it's been interesting. So I'm trying to feel out where I want my stuff at, and I think I've got it. I think I like how I've got it so far. So yeah, it's been going all right. Right, I remember how to draw stuff in perspective, maybe. So I'm still on this Assassin's Creed kick, because I've been doing nothing but sort of play that every spare moment I get. So we're gonna do, I think I'm gonna just doodle the thing that I can't seem to do while I'm running from the guards, which is hide in a greenhouse, or like a garden. So the controls are still kind of like wonky for me. So I'm still building up that good muscle memory. So I'll be in the middle of like a sprint, just a dead sprint, like, oh, I've got this. I'm gonna go hide, and inevitably Altair goes and like clings onto the edge of the garden in plain sight. It's like, I didn't want you to do that. I wanted you to actually, you know, go in and hide. So I did think about streaming And for a while, I was thinking of streaming, like me actually playing the game. Uh, Two things though, I wanted to get better at actually controlling the character. Because I was so terrible at it before. And yeah, it's Assassin's Creed, semicolon, the worst assassin. That's me. But yeah, they do have. I'm endlessly entertained by how they sort of explain why Altair is so shit at the beginning. Because you, the player, are like learning how to control him. And it's like, oh, like he botched a mission and he got his rank taken from him. So he's got to learn all over from the beginning. And it's like, yep, that's me. That's me. I don't know how to jump onto a roof. So it's good times. All right. So this is a compendium of my attempts at being stealthy. Just Altair's butt in a garden. And the guards are just gonna be like, bruh. You're right there, we can see you. Yep, this is actually pretty accurate. Except they're more angry in the game. I think it would just be more hysterical if they were just deadpan like, sir, we're right here. It's very good. They take all of his equipment away at the beginning. You start off as like this super OP, like just armed to the teeth character. And you're like, yeah, I've got like throwing knives and a sword and like another dagger and all this stuff. And they're like, we're taking everything from you. You have. I don't even remember what you get at the beginning. I think it's literally like, you have perhaps a knife. And you're like, cool, I have to try to survive with just this. They're like, you are now a novice again. And you literally have to like re-earn all of your equipment. So, but it is nice because it keeps you from being overwhelmed at having to learn all of the controls. And I was already just overwhelmed at the difference between running and grabbing and punching. And I was like, this is fine. Take all my equipment, please, until I literally learn how to use it. There we go. This is perfect. Rooftop garden. This is me. Let's see. What's another good scenario? I think the guards just being... Again, they're just looking up at me. And he's just Spider-Manning on the side of a building. If I had $1 for every stinking time I did this, because there's like handholds, and they're very obvious, they have them textured a certain way, so once you get used to seeing them, it's like, oh, I can definitely climb this. But, when you're in the middle of running, sometimes you're like, you run at a wall and expect him to grab it and keep going. Nope. He's just gonna stop, and he's just gonna do this. He's just gonna hang there. And it's like, could you please move any amount up this wall? No. Nothing doing. Just gonna hang here until kingdom comes. Yep. And then the people look at you too. Let's see. What's a village person look like? They judge you. They're like, look at that man. Why is he doing that? Poor guy. He's gone crazy. All these village people just going about their lives. This just insane person wearing all white, just tearing around town. So that's been my experience playing games. Actually, this is me playing any game. You can replace this with Link and anybody else in any other game, because that's me. Oh, he can also trip. Like, people can shove him. If you're running and you push past a group of people, he just goes flying, and it's like, you're supposed to be this, like, again, like, really high-ranked assassin, and you literally tripped over a pebble. It's good times. So let's see. Yes, this is true. Yeah, and I think of those comics people have done that focus on, like, those NPCs, or, like, in a similar vein, like, the people who have to deal with, like, the aftermath of the Avengers. And it's just like, what is happening here? If this was happening in any normal town, people would just be like, Sir, please. Please stop. But yeah, I do like that. Again, my point of reference is any Zelda game where you can just straight up go into somebody's house and start smashing up all their clay pots, and they'll just keep standing there looking at you pleasantly, and their dialogue tree is ready to go when you are, but you smash up their pots and they're like, seems fine. Yeah, no, here it's like, you climb up a wall in full view of somebody and they're like, what is this madman doing? And I'm like, shut up, don't judge me, I have objectives to complete. I'm trying to get to my map. But yeah. The main character just is absolutely feral, just tearing around town. Yeah, so yeah, it's really interesting. There's like a whole social aspect to it. It's like, oh, I gotta blend into the crowd. So, number one, the guards don't get me, and number two, so people around me, like, are okay with me being here. Yep, here's a guard watching me trip. The guards don't even have to do anything. They just have to stand there, and I will fall off a cliff myself. Also, he can't swim. That was a running joke years back, and I tried it, and yep, fell off a log, got in the drink, died. Again, high level assassin, can't swim. What is this game? It is a lot of fun though. It's like parkour, the video game. Alright, these guys are just like, we don't get paid enough to deal with this. Yeah, I went flying down some stairs. That was fun. Yes, this is my headcanon now, that Hyrulean hospitality is just... We don't use these vessels for anything. They are there as like a ceremonial offering. I love it. We don't break bread. We break pots. We offer you something to drink in this very breakable clay pot, and then you smash it like Thor and say another. Love it. Gotta do a deep dive on Hyrule lore. Alright, I need one more antic to fill out this sort of tableau of my failures. Oh, I guess one of them would be just assassinating someone in full view of the guards. Like, there's multiple ways of doing things in the game. I choose to play the game like... So, if Altair was a rogue, I am playing him like a barbarian. It's like I have all of these, like, cunning secret weapons. I'm like, no, sword. Going through the front door, drop down, sword, sword, sword. And then run away. I have no subtlety. I'm not a very good assassin. I am learning. If they had The barbarian version of Assassin's Creed. If they had Barbarian's Creed, I would be so into that. So let's see. I'm going to make a whole row of guards. And they're just going to be watching. As I just murder the person they're supposed to protect. Yeah, gosh, I have to make... I feel like the latest Assassin's Creed feels very Barbarian's Creed. Like, I haven't played it, but it's just like, it's Vikings. You don't think assassins when you think of Vikings. I think like, no, axes and spears and stuff. So I feel like I have to get the newest one so I can play Barbarian's Creed, i.e. playing Assassin's Creed very badly. These guys all look like they have very cool sunglasses. Alright, let's see, what does Altair look like when he's doing the stab? He like hugs people, gets them in close, and is like, shink. And let's see, this guy's gonna be like, no, I don't want it. No hug, please. Wah. Rage and smash. Yep. There's no stealth. There's only strutting around town, just breaking things. As I've been doing, but without the penalty. I feel like the guards would get suspicious if you did start trying to sneak around. Alright, that's about as assassinating-y as I'll get. Eh. It looks like he's doing a bad Heimlich on him. Alright, there we are. A tableau of failed Assassin's Creed moments. All of which have happened, like, today, as I've been playing it. Very accurate. Gosh, now I have to do Barbarian's Creed. I think I'm gonna have to draw it. I might just be drawing Assassin's Creed Valhalla, but that's okay. Actually, I'm, like, super into, like, the look of the new one. It looks super awesome. Because there's, like, you can pick, do you want to play as the dude assassin, the lady assassin, and, like, you get to choose how the story unfolds. And they both look super cool. Alright, Barbarian's Creed. Let's see. So, Altair is like this, right, he's like a lean dude. He's built for jumping around, being sneaky. Barbarian's Creed is just, you're just jacked. Also, Assassin's Creed, AC, Barbarian's Creed, BC. Yeah, I can't say that I follow the franchise closely. I think I got kind of, they did like Assassin's Creed 2 and I was like, oh, okay, that's neat. And then they followed it up rapid fire with a bunch of them and I was like, oh god, that's too much. I don't want. But yeah, this latest one seems really cool. Again, I think a lot of the gameplay is the same, but the assassin, Ivor, I'm not sure how to pronounce the name. Like, the lady is just super jacked, and it's awesome. Like, she looks like she could just wreck you. As does the dude, but it's like, that's to be expected. He's a Viking, but yeah. The lady is super cool. So, it was kind of a bummer, because I remember reading a couple of like notes from the development of it. They were originally going to do like just she was originally intended to be like the only character. It wasn't supposed to be like, oh, you can choose. But people were like, oh, the developers or whatever, the executives were like, oh, like gamers aren't gonna like if they're not gonna be able to relate if you can't have like a guy. It's like all right, we got a lady assassin. I guess I'm fine with that, but you know, why do dudes have to be the default? Don't get me wrong. I see myself mirrored every time I make Altair fall over a box, but it's like, come on, give me Assassin's Creed only lady. That's all I want. ACBC. Yep. Somebody hire me to draw Barbarian's Creed. Assassin's Creed Ladies Night? Holy shit. That's absolutely gonna be my next drawing. Yep. We're gonna do it. Alright. Alright, this is just Blanca from Street Fighter. But that's okay. I feel like Barbarian's Creed would be like, because they've hit up every single timeline, I feel, or like every single point in history. They've got American colonial. They've got like, you know, Syria circa whatever, the, you know, medieval ages. They've got Vikings. Give me, please, caveman assassin. I think that's what this is going to be. Primordial assassin. It's literally Barbarian's Creed. Murdering stuff with a club. Not even being sneaky. There's no political intrigue, it's just a mammoth. He's gotta have a hood. I just realized. Everybody's got a hood. Maybe he just has some sort of, like, cape. It's like a wolf skin. He pulls it over his head when he needs to. When he needs anonymity from the mammoths. There we go. Assassin's Creed Ladies Night is spectacular. I would give them so much of my money. Barbarian's Creed is the strongest bonk. Yep. I love it. You have a bonk meter. Let's see. I'm trying to remember what the UI looks like. I've been staring at it for the last 3 days. You would think I would know. Let's see. We're gonna do. So instead of like synchronization, it's gonna be bonk. And it's like, here's your bonk meter. The more you hit, or the more rocks you smash, your bonk meter goes up. Bonk and stronk. Those are your two stats in Assassin's Creed. Barbarian's Creed, I mean. I would play the shit out of this game. Let's be real. Let's see. It's gonna be posing like a cool assassin, except with club. Oh gosh, how do I draw hands? He's gonna have fur gauntlets because that's what barbarians do. Yeah, welcome to my single, what is it, my 2-stat RPG design stream. Welcome to Bonk and Stronk. Honestly, might have to do that. Yeah, a little while ago they had the instead of like business card, they had the pleasure card RPG. sort of jam going on Twitter, and people were making these just like tiny RPGs I could fit on business cards. And some of them are just, I mean, all of them are great, but the ones that I've played are just delightful. It's like you don't need anything. You just need this like teeny little business card. Yeah, I played Tiny Wizard, where you literally just throw the card across the room and try to make, obstacles for your wizard to get around. Yeah, they all looked just great. So this is very much in keeping with that. Of just, you don't need a ton of stats. Sometimes all you need is just bonk and strong. Alright, he needs to look more angry. Okay, this is apropos of nothing, because this is apparently the Assassin's Creed stream, but I have been watching the Batman animated series, just making my way through the giant box set, and again, just watching it through the eyes of an adult now, and just some of the storytelling decisions that they're making. So as I'm drawing this incredibly jacked dude, one of the last episodes I watched, Batman has just been, he's like been captured by like Ra's al Ghul, who's like the leader of the whatever demon organization, is like, oh, Batman, you're going to be my new protege. And Batman's like, what? Never. I've got my own stuff to do. And Ra's al Ghul's like, fine, you'll see my latest plan come to fruition, but make sure, men, that he has nothing hidden on him, so that to facilitate his escape. And they legitimately just tear off Batman's like upper uniform, like the upper bit of the batsuit, and it's like, sir, what is this? What is happening? So it's just Batman in literally just his cowl and his tights. And I was like, what was happening in the 90s? They didn't strip search him. They literally just tore off his shirt. And it's like, is it your unit? The bat suit is supposed to be like, I think it's got Kevlar plates in the chest in case he gets shot. They tore it like it was tissue paper. And I was like in the middle of eating something, and I started laughing just my ass off, because I was like, I don't remember this episode at all. It was amazing. Yeah, so that, I was losing my mind, because I was like, I don't remember this. This is like, and Ra's al Ghul has a daughter, Talia al Ghul, and she's in love with Batman, of course, and she's just wearing the most like harem girl looking ass outfit. So between that and Batman just getting his clothes torn off, I'm just like, this is the horniest episode of Batman I've ever seen. What's going on here? What were those writers thinking? It's been a wild ride. I don't know what's happening. But yeah. So, I've just been like, thinking about the time. Remember the time they just didn't strip search Batman? They were just like, it's the desert. He just needs pants. That's all. Yep. Alright, I think this barbarian looks like every other barbarian I have ever drawn. And that's fine. I have a type. Let's see. He's probably going to have some sort of belt. Every assassin needs a belt. Probably. He might have a knife. It may just be another club. I'm not sure. I'm make this cape a little fluffier. Right now it's just a tie. Alright. Here he is. Our BC Barbarian's Creed. Barbarian. Great Club and Little Club. Oh my gosh. Yes. Yeah, where am I going to put the Little Club? It's going to be like in a holster. A holster. It's going to be, yeah, just hanging out right here. Small club instead of dagger is very good. 2-weapon fighting. Except it's all clubs. Oops, all clubs. Except he's a caveman, so I imagine it's like still big. Just has this stinking tree root ass looking thing over here. Alright. It looks a little bit like he's carrying a ham. How make primitive belt? I don't know. Maybe not? Sure. We'll do that. Alright. I am not going to sit here and render out a bajillion pieces of body hair. He got the fuzz. Alright. Yeah, what did we say? Barbarian's Creed. Ubisoft, please pay me to design characters for your new hit series. I love it. Oh yeah, the UI would be down here. Choose your main club or your little club or big mammoth bone. It's like a mammoth femur. Or rock. There we go. And we've got this one chosen. Nice. Alright. Now it is time to draw Assassin's Creed, but with ladies. Let's see. The best part about the rock is you don't actually carry it. You just pick up the nearest rock and use it. Oh boy. Okay, so we've done Barbarian's Creed. So I think I have to piggyback off that and do Barbarian's Creed, but lady version. And honestly, I feel like lady version of Caveman, Assassin's Creed, Barbarian's Creed would still be just jacked as hell. Let's see. Actually, I think I'm going to do her in the trademark kind of assassin's squat, where they just pick a perch and just squat up there and check things out. So she is going to be doing, I don't know. She's going to be checking out the lay of the land and looking very serious, probably. Death from above via blunt force trauma. Yep. Yeah, like, you know, same result, still death, but just wildly different. Just a completely different approach. Alright, how... Gosh, every time I want to draw somebody kneeling, it's always like, gosh, how do legs do again? Well, how do legs work? Ugh. Okay, this is not right. Yeah, that's the stealth kill. It's just, you drop a rock. No knife. No sneaking up in a crowd. Just you, a cliff, a rock, and your target. Alright. She's going to be, I don't know. Maybe she's at the top of this, like, ravine. And then the dude, barbarian, is just is across the way with a rock. I can't get that image out of my head now. They're about to assassinate somebody, but it's just got no style points. Yep. He's probably laughing maniacally. Ha ha ha. Alright, so she's... Who needs style points when you have rock? Exactly. Listen, my point exactly. I'm playing the wrong game. Assassin's Creed. I don't want to be sneaky. I don't want to be stealthy. I just want to go in and get the job done. Whether that's with a blade, or with a rock, or with an inconveniently placed barrel, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm liking Barbarian's Creed. Coming 2022. Honestly, this should be DLC for one of the games. Go back in time. This is what Assassin's Creed Origins should have been. The actual prehistoric origins. Instead, I think it was like, I don't know, Renaissance Italy? I don't know. Let's see. She's gonna be wearing probably, yeah, kind of a fur cape looking thing. Same thing, she's gonna have the hood. Actually, maybe it'll be in place. Maybe she'll have it pulled up over her head. And she's just gonna be looking across like, dude, we talked about this. I know our craft is still in the early days of development, but when we say assassinate, we don't mean drop large rock on. Yeah, exactly. It was that guy. She's looking very put out. I'm gonna give her some kind of bracer looking things. Yeah, we're looking at the development of an art form. Two wildly diverging styles. She would go on to found the actual assassins, and he would go on to just be the precursor to modern barbarians. Alright, so we got foot. And they're married. And it's just like, babe, I love you, but we have to go our separate stylistic ways. Alright, and what did I say? She's got like a cape thing happening. Yeah, I think the the hoods are like the sort of the similar dynamic, or like the shared aesthetic between the two. I don't know, it's gonna be like a wolf or something. But yeah, just different approaches. I don't know, maybe she's got her hair in braids so it doesn't get in her face. He just has his hair going free because he's a madman and does not believe in efficiency. Oh man, I need to know more of this story. I need to know more of the story, and I won't be able to know more unless I write it or draw it or whatever. What a bummer. And she's gonna have, I feel like should be rocking like a spear, right? Like long distance. I don't think spears are especially stealthy, but in the Bronze Age, it's probably the stealthiest you can get. Maybe bow and arrow? Did they have bows and arrows back then? Question mark. Probably. Bow and arrow. Ah! How do you draw a quiver? Oh, my old nemesis, drawing arrows. Who are they assassinating? Yeah, I definitely think at this point it's just a mammoth. How do I draw a mammoth? I feel like it's just an unimpressed elephant. Oh, hey, Dave. Wait, what? Your dumbass? What? Oh. I'll put you on the back of the elephant. How about that? Or the back of the mammoth. Who's gonna get assassinated? Oh, goodness. Dave's prehistoric doppelganger. Let's see, mammoths had tusks. For sure. Time to roll a new character. I'm gonna give this mammoth. I think mammoth, and all I can think of is the mammoth from Ice Age. That's sort of against my will. That's my default mental image for mammoth. Alright, so here's mammoth butt. The first movie was okay, and then they just kept making them, and I was like, enough, I don't care. It was an alright movie. Actually, I feel like these eyes have got to be like down here. The mammoth needs to look more put upon. I'm going to draw a generic person sitting on the back of the mammoth, and if you wish, you can sort of like, retcon yourself into it. It's just gonna be, oh, I'm a prehistoric, unsuspecting person, sitting cross-legged on the back of a mammoth. Isn't life swell? And then Death from Above, rock. Actually, it was, and it was kind of like self-aware, look into the camera, haha, isn't this so zany sort of humor. But it was fun. It was like an entertaining movie. The other ones I think got worse. And then it was just like, okay, like, whatever tolerance I had for you before is now gone. I don't know who this person is, or why they're sitting on the back of a mammoth, but clearly they have to die, because the barbarian's just not having it. They have put down their club, and they're just getting ready to throw down, literally. The penguins? Oh, like the Madagascar penguins? I never actually saw, like, I think, did they have, like, their own movie or show? I never saw that. They might have? I think it might have been a TV show. I recall a TV show, or, something to that effect. And it was like when the Minions got their own, like, franchise. It was like they were fine when they were like a bit character. When you keep recycling, like, that lightning in a bottle that made them likable to begin with, it's like, kill me. Kill me with a rock from above, like this picture, which is done. Yeah. I liked the penguins in the movie. The movie they came from, not as their own franchise. Oh, okay. Oh, no. Huh. Yeah, I never really thought about that. Or, like, someone had brought it up. That, yeah, oh no, that's horrible. Oh gosh. Yeah, no, I don't like any of that. I don't like the Minions anyway. But they were locked in it. Oh gosh. Again, too much. You go too deep down that rabbit hole, and it's like, no, just leave them as, like, that thing that exists, and you don't need to explain their existence. We don't need an origin story, because then you run into weird stuff like that. Okay, I need a new timeline for Assassin's Creed ladies. Alright, what are we on? Layer 5? Heck yeah. Space assassin ladies? Heck yeah. Assassin's Creed Ladies Night in Space. Oh my gosh. Heck yeah. Oh man, we gotta do some shapes. So speaking of space, I've actually been reading The Martian, i.e. the Matt Damon Interstellar, well, it wasn't Interstellar, but yeah, the novel that the movie came from. And it's very fun. It's very nerdy, but also very funny. It is not John Carter. It is The Martian. Mark Watney gets stuck in space. The novel by Andy Weir. Although I have read John Carter, and gosh, like, I read one book, and that was about it. Because it comes from that age of, like, sort of Tarzan. Because I think the guy who wrote John Carter, I think, was the guy who wrote Tarzan. And it's very much just like, you know, big macho man, damsel in distress, you know, innocent looking damsel draped dramatically over someone's arms. Yeah, I got through one book and I was like, alright, I'm done. I can't read this anymore. I don't even like how it's written. But yes, The Martian by Andy Weir, a much more modern novel, is a great read. Highly recommend. Alright, so clearly for ladies in space, they're gonna have some sort of Eva suit. But the Eva suit is gonna have the eagle motif. The Martian Chronicles, is that the John Carter books in total? Like their overarching name? Because I know there's a billion of them. Oh! Got it. Ray Bradbury, The Martian Chronicles. I'm trying to... I know I've heard of it, but I can't think of what it's about. Whole bunch of an anthology of short stories. Okay, that sounds neat. Ray Bradbury. I liked Fahrenheit 451. What got terrible marketing? The Martian? Like, Matt Damon Martian? The Gentleman. Yeah, I'll give it a go. The Martian Chronicles. I'm gonna write that down. Oh, John Carter. Yeah, the movie was... Gosh, I don't even remember the movie. I think I remember the middle, which was lots of jumping, and I remember the end. And I think I fell asleep for some of it. Who is John Carter? What does Marcellus Wallace look like? I really did erase John Carter from memory, because I think it came around the same time as the Avatar movie. Not Blue People Avatar, but Avatar The Last Airbender live action. And I feel like I watched them both kind of within the same weekend, and they were both just snooze fests. I remember nothing from Avatar. I can't say you're missing much if you haven't seen the Martian movie. It did not, yeah, I don't know. We don't talk about it. You could talk about it, I just won't have anything to contribute to the conversation because I don't remember it. We don't talk about the fourth Indiana Jones movie. That's truly what I don't talk about. I'm trying to draw a space suit that isn't just shapeless while actively suppressing memories from like 2016, 2015, circa John Carter and live action Avatar. Ugh. A spacesuit that's functional, but also has a lady inside and is a fine line between, like, this isn't 70s tinfoil bikini spacesuit. Functional, but also fashion, but also assassins. Fashation's Creed. Also, no knives. Knives in space don't go well together. So maybe it's a laser knife. I don't know. Yes, that's gonna be fashassins. That's a tongue twister. I think I just made it an SH sound the whole way through, but really it should be Fashassins Creed. Ladies' Night. Dum dum. Who is John Carter? She's gonna have some hair visible. We're in space, but fashion. Killer moves with killer looks is very good. It's, so a buddy of mine was telling me about this, drag show they had been watching on Netflix, and that just got me thinking about it, because it's like, the theme was horror, and so they were doing a bunch of, like, horror-themed, like, outfits and stuff. So it's like, oh, killer, but make it drag. Which is very much what we are doing here. So, tool belt. The movie tagline. Oh boy. For John Carter. John Carter. What even is going on with you, John Carter? Alright. Some sort of buckle, perhaps? But a space buckle? Nope, I'm just gonna leave it like that. There's tubes and such, and control panels on spacesuits. Let's see. It's like how to make it look like she's got shoulder things, but make it space. Obviously the next frame is going to be her removing the helmet and just shaking out her hair. Because in media, ladies never get helmet hair. She's gonna have some space gloves. And a weapon of indeterminate nature. Laser knife. Maybe. Oh, snap. Way of the House Husband is up now? Oh, man. What a good manga. I was moving my books and caught sight of it there amongst my reading material and was just like, dang. What a good book. What a good series. Ladies in space with weapons equals cosmonauts. Cosmonites? Question? And you know what? I have not yet checked it out. I definitely have to. Nope, that's not how knives do. There we go. Oh, you finished Way of the House Husband already? How is it? Is it, any good? Live up to the manga? Cosmosassin. Oh, I love it. Shoot for the stars and kill them. Yeah, it's a laser sword. It's just a. Are we just drawing? Am I just drawing Star Wars? Does she just have a lightsaber? I think she does. Oh, nice. Yeah, honestly, the thing I was looking forward to the most was having the voice acting with it. And just hearing his Yakuza ass voice. It's one thing to read it, but hearing it acted out is just so much funnier. Let's see. I think there's going to be some sort of hanging holster situation. Oh gosh. Seeing Tatsu interact with his wife is just such a blessing on my land and crops. It's the funniest thing. Oh, absolutely. It's like, everyone, please look at this man who loves his wife so much. Yeah. Tatsu is a gift. How to make fashion boots? I don't know. Make sections. Call it a day. Heck yeah. Clearly she's gotta have some sort of space pistol. Or space crossbow. I don't know. How does one hold a crossbow? Like... What? No, I think I want it to have like a gun grip. The manga is a gift to the world. And honestly, I should check to see if there's a third volume. Unless either of you happen to know if there's a third volume or not. Because I need more. I need more Tatsu interacting with normies. It's a crossbow that fires lasers. Because that's how... that's how the future works. It's got arrows made of light. Okay, so I definitely have to order volume 3. Clearly. Clearly I have not been keeping myself in the loop, and... that is my mistake. Laser crossbow. We've got it, folks. Nah, I mean, listen, I want to support the author. She's gonna have the Assassin's Creed insignia, which I realize halfway through I don't know what it looks like. It looks like a compass and an eyeball. And for good measure, it's gonna say Assassin's Creed underneath. Yeah, well, let me know. I'm trying to, yeah. Given the opportunity, I will buy any and every book. But I'm trying to keep my stock of books not as robust as it used to be. I love books, but they are big, they are bulky and heavy, and moving them is a pain. So I'm kind of looking ahead to when I move in a few years. Yeah, it was it was real sad having to get rid of all my books the first time around. It was like I had a collection, and I don't know if my heart can take it again. So yeah, we will see. I've been very slow about buying any sort of book. I don't think spacesuits have front zips, or do they? Yeah, I was able to give the books to a good home, and I was happy about that. But, I mean, I liked my books, and I wanted to keep them, but I couldn't. For reasons of space. Much like Assassin's Creed. There, except they have all the space. I had no space. Let's see. So, I think I've done the Eva suit version. She's gotta have a big backpack for extra vehicular maneuvers. I don't know how to draw an astronaut backpack, so I'm gonna put some tubes on it and call it a day. I do use the Kindle app. I do not have a Kindle, but I've got a phone, got the Kindle app, and that has been serving me just fine. I've been buying quite a few Kindle books, which I had very strong opinions about it early on, because it's like, I feel weird buying something that I don't have tangibly, especially since I was so used to buying books. And I've gotten over most of my misgivings, but sometimes it does occur to me, like, hey, you know, when it exists in a digital form, what happens when the technology, or whatever, or the whatever owner decides, you know what, I don't want you to have access to it anymore. Zip. And then it's gone. But now I'm at a point where I just don't care. It's like, I read it, I'm like, done. Oh no! I've been reading The Martian, and so between Assassin's Creed and the space terms that are floating around in my brain, I do realize now, yes, I should have specified. Evangelion's Creed is a different game. That's where the soul of, well, spoilers. Yeah, you just play as a big robot in a city. And the assassinations are much different. It's a different vibe. Yeah. So we've got Evangelion's Creed. Yeah, you're a big robot assassin. What do Evas look like? I know they've got teeth. They're like bio-mechanical robot-looking things. I've seen some of Evangelion. I don't know much about it. How do I draw something that looks organic, but also mechanical? Oh my god, Assassin's Creed and Shadow of the Colossus. Shadow of the Colossus is... It's got some Assassin's Creed flavor in there, for sure. Like, you're doing a sneak. You're doing a climb. But, yeah, Assassin's Creed and Shadow of the Colossus would be insane. I've just drawn a Dragon Ball Z breastplate. I don't want that. Yeah, I would pay good money for any of these crossovers. Shadow of the Colossus in space. Oh gosh. That would be insane. You do fall in Shadow of the Colossus. I don't... Yeah, no, you die in Shadow of the Colossus. And start over. Let's see. They've got like elbow spikies. I seem to remember that Evas have... They're just gangly. They just got gangly proportions. This one is apparently singing in the middle of the city. I don't know. Yeah, they've got a look to them. I'm not nailing it. Actually, I gotta give this one a hood too. And it's gonna be doing that thing where there's like a shockwave coming out from it that's just gonna flatten the city. And it's like, could you not do a scream? They've got big robot feet, right? Maybe claws? I don't know. It's been a minute since I've watched any sort of Evangelion related media. Human hands, sure. They got... Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the, that does strike me as something that one of the angels would do. Just doing a screech. But yeah, I feel like I remember seeing that, because aren't the angels, they're just geometry, right? It's just like, oh, look at this big deadly snowflake floating in from nth space. Look at this Mitsubishi logo. So that's an angel? A Halo spaceship? A flower? Yeah. So they're about to do battle. But Eva, this is Eva, AC is just deciding to serenade the city a little bit. Oh, it's gotta have a knife. It's gonna have a big knife. What gets me about Evangelion is like, look at these giant robots. They run on batteries for 5 minutes. It's like, that's not nearly enough time to fight off the invaders. Oh man. And also, you're a giant robot that fights with knives. They couldn't at least put guns on you? Give me a break. Honestly, same. The exact same. I have seen like half an episode of Evangelion, and the rest I know from, yep, cultural osmosis. So I have an image in my head of Evangelion, but it's a fuzzy one. It's like mosaicked out. But this is kind of what I know about it. He's gonna be... Yay. And since the angels sing too, yay, they're gonna be singing too. Great. Gosh. We've got Assassin's Creed in space. We've got Evangelion's Creed. You know what? It's gotta have... I'm gonna give it... like, that flowing robe-looking thing. There we go. Now it's Evangelion's Creed. I feel like you can't have an assassin without their weird, dramatic, billowy robes. Which I'm not going to give the astronaut lady one, because so impractical. Yeah, I don't know what happened here. Something happened. I got 20 minutes left. Boy, we gotta think of another, spin-off of the Assassin's Creed franchise. Ladies in Space. I don't know. Assassin's Creed Mecha Pilot? Could that even be a thing? Way of the House Assassin? Oh my god. Oh, hey, welcome. Welcome indeed. Good to see you, Grace. I think the people who wrote Pacific Rim were probably inspired by Evangelion. Um, Guillermo del Toro, uh, aka, like, Monster Dude, probably, like, I would bet $10 that he has seen Evangelion and was like, I want to take the, like, WWE-esque, just SmackDown version of Evangelion and make that into a movie. I absolutely believe so. And I love him for it. Yes, $10. So somebody do a quick Google search and look up an interview with Guillermo del Toro. What inspired you to make Pacific Rim? WWE, Evangelion, any kaiju movie. Also, Way of the House Assassin. That's pretty good. Wait, so are they... Would this be a team of, like, demolition assassins? Would this be like, pour some sugar on me? Demolition Woman? Hell yeah. Oh man, we gotta do it. So this is gonna be some Sigourney Weaver in a caterpillar loader looking stuff. Let's see. So they're gonna be in a construction mech. Hell yeah. Instead of a assassin's cowl, they wear a hard hat. Has Guillermo del Toro ever directed a Godzilla? I have no idea. I need to watch the most recent spate of Godzilla movies. Shamefully, I have not seen them. And especially with, like, the newest Reptile versus Primate spin-off coming out, I really gotta check them out. I would not be surprised if he either has or expressed interest in doing one. Is it a construction mech or a destruction mech? Oh no! These are all so good. All mechs are both. You know what? Both are good observations. As we have seen in... Yeah, I was gonna say Evangelion. But they don't actually use those for construction. However, in the... Oh god, what year was it? In Appleseed 2016? They straight up had, like, construction mechs, and the person who was, like, using it goes insane and it becomes a destruction mech. So, an excellent observation. Also, point of interest, now that we're on the topic of construction / destruction mechs, I had a former student literally get into a discussion with me about how Gundams were absolutely plausible. And I had to inform him that no, because if the technology exists to make a walking giant robot person, that means they have that technology to make an equally powerful tank. And an Abrams tank will take down a Gundam every time if they've got the right technology. So that was a great derailment in my class, where we legitimately took, like, 5 minutes to discuss, is a giant robot plausible? And I had to tell them no. There are two robots. One is the construction mech, and then it transformer bots into the destruction mech. Holy crap. Folks, we're doing it. I love it. But they're exoskeletons. So maybe Promare style. Because we gotta have that, like, shoomp. Gotta have that hood. Right? We gotta have that eagle imagery. Maybe it's gonna look kind of round at first. And then, I'm still trying to figure out what shape I want this to look like. And then the destruction comes along. And, I don't know. I'm gonna have to draw this from the side. Mechs are not my specialty. I like them. I have utmost respect for people who can draw them. I cannot. Got real issues. Yeah, so there's a person down here. Grr. And is Promare that himbo anime you like? Put some respect on my boy Gallo's name. How dare you? But yes, it is. If you haven't seen Promare, it is a big stupid firefighter fights people who control fire. It's good. You should check it out. It's a lot of fun. The guy shouts a lot. He fights in a mech in a posture very similar to this. And he goes around without a shirt and big puffy firefighter pants. So Promare was designed specifically for me. Yep. His first appearance, they shoot him out of a cannon up into the flaming building. God, I want to watch Promare again so bad. And he starts monologuing at the villains, and he literally has like a projector, like a little floating projector that displays a PowerPoint as he's shouting at them. And holy shit, yes, this is Riki Matsui if he had access to a mech. And was also, like, more hot-tempered and less chill. So, yeah, go watch Promare. It's great. Oh, I know what stance I want for the destruction mech. I've made the construction mech just kind of standing there. The destruction mech, though, he's gonna have, like, or she, is just gonna have this, like, this gremlin pose. I'm just like, yeah. I'm gonna wreck your house. House hunters. How dare you? Who made that comment? Was it Dave? Give me House Hunters International, but they literally are a demolition team. Why doesn't this exist? Why can't I throw my money at this already? Yeah, the hood's still gonna be down like this. And I feel like, No, Grace, you speak the truth. There is no anime protagonist with any chill. Except for maybe, who's the guy? What's his name? Mushishi? That guy? Chillest of the animes? It's literally just like atmospheric music and here, I'm gonna solve your problems, but in the most relaxing way possible. Most chill anime. Good vibes. Go watch. Welcome to my Assassin's Creed and anime/media recommendation stream. I'm just kidding, Dave. I liked the House Hunters gag. I just hate how much I liked it. They're gonna become spiky. The Beautiful Bones. I'm not familiar with that. Yeah, there are a few chill anime protagonists, but they're just not shonen protagonists. Shonen manga / anime is all about strong feelings, lots of shouting, no chill. There's some sort of like plasma cannon happening in the hands, so they just kamehameha whatever house is in their way. Aha! That was cat. A good goof, cat. Well played. I actually want to give the construction mech some legs. Not legs, wheels. That's what I want. That's what I want to say. Wheels. Shonen manga target audience equals no chill. Truth. There is no lie. Teenagers have no chill. But adults can also like shonen manga too. So the construction mech is just going to have these stubby little legs with caterpillar treads on them. And then the destruction mech, I don't know. Maybe it's going to be like kind of a tricycle sort of thing. So caterpillar tread up front, caterpillar tread in back, but two in the back. So it's a snowmobile. All the better to roll over rubble? I don't know. Drills for legs. Oh my god, drills for legs. Hell yeah. Get rid of these wheels. They're too mundane. Drills for legs. So it's gonna be a crab. The destruction mech is just a crab. But, like, Gurren Lagann, drills for legs. That's very good. I love it. Oh gosh, how do you draw drills without making them look like carrots? And then there's another one back here that I don't feel like straight up drawing. Yep, good. Carcinization? Carcinization? I am not familiar with that. Yep, Destructobot is a go. So construction bot, let's see, what's construction? Construction is drill? Nail gun? Screwdriver? We'll do... How do you draw a Phillips head screwdriver? I don't know. There we go. Crabs share a body shape but different evolutionary lineages. Nature evolved crab shape multiple times over the years, so is this the this is what peak performance meme? Is that the meme? Carcinization. Huh. That's interesting. Clearly crab-shaped is the best shape, is what nature is telling us. It's stable. You get 2 pincer arms. Again, peak performance. This one's going to have a power cord going back into main body for no reason. Boop. And let's see. Robotic joints are a thing. Yeah, so every stream I go in with no plan, and then every single time it's time to draw something that I am not good at. Feet, cars, mecha. I love it. Crab equals the most stable of shapes. I think I'm going to put a couple joints in here because I'm not good at drawing robots, but I've drawn them a couple times. And you need those joints. There we go. So this thing just leaves potholes wherever it goes. Like, we didn't need the pavement torn up, but thank you, I guess. And team, did we say what Oh, House Hunters. This is Assassin's Creed House Hunters International. They just go around killing houses. We've got a budget of $2 million. And we need to make sure this house has everything I'm looking for, or else I'm going to level it to the ground. What a good goof. I love it. This is great. I'm super pleased with this crop of drawings. Thank you all for your wonderful input to this drawing chaos. But it is time for the end. I've got 4 minutes. So, I don't know, maybe I could bang out a 2-minute drawing. Do we have an idea for the last Assassin's Creed Ladies' Night Out? Topic? Type of assassin? Okay, I have been using this the whole time. Assassin's Crab. It's just a crab. It's just a crab with a hood. Let's see. Assassin's Crab. How... I've just taken so much psychic damage, but I'm also just delighted by this entire evening. Crabs they've got this mouth. Crabs have big claw. I should just draw this crab failing to climb something, and that will just be my whole experience of Assassin's Creed. Alright, he's gonna be, whoops. Gosh, what do crab arms look like? I've eaten them. What do I draw them? How do I draw them? I don't know. Alright, so he's gonna be doing a climb, methinks. In some underwater city? Question mark? Let's see. Crab's got 6 legs. 6 legs? No. 2 back legs, 1 pincer? Questions. Crabs have no waist and therefore no place to put a belt. But he's gonna have a billowy robe anyway. 10 legs for crustaceans. Jeez Louise. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Did I do that right? Yep. Sweet. Oh, I bet he's gonna be doing a jump, so let's see. I'll put his other legs back here. I would not like to cut this layer. This is the pinnacle of my artistic ability. Clip Studio Paint, don't you dare cut this out. Alright, there we go. He's gonna be grabbing onto some coral. And there's gonna be an angry crab guard back here. Rah! Get back here, you assassin crab. Alright, this is the pinnacle of my artistic ability. I will never draw anything as good as this. But it's 10 o'clock. It's time for the recap. So I don't leave you all on this crab. Thank you all for coming to the stream. This is my recycled welcome screen. Oops. We started off, as we ended, with some Assassin's Creed, of course. Doing a little Mario chase through the city. We moved on to some of my better moments playing the game. And by best moments, I mean me failing to play the game properly. And then obviously, the only way to make the game better is to not do Assassin's Creed, but do Barbarian's Creed. So clearly you need to have the bonk and stronk as your stats. Barbarian's Creed, the notable, or the logical extension would be husband and wife, one barbarian, one assassin, 2 different schools of killing folks, same result. And then it just went steadily downhill. We got Fashassins Creed. We got Evangelion's Creed. And Assassin's Creed House Hunters International with the destruction and construction robots. All very good. And last but not least, Assassin's Crab. Thank you all so much for joining me. Thank you all for giving me delicious input and teaching me about things that I had not known before. So, thank you once more. Have a great night, everybody, and I will talk to you later. Bye!